Dang, up here in the Great White North, always putting damn lotion on these hands. Old man hands, yo. Old man hands. All right, that's just as good as it's gonna be. Get everybody seasick. Got you leaning. And shit shoulder lean. Oh, I'm making the phone shake because I'm moving. That's some funny shit. Well, this is Big Pontiac, and I'm here with the positive father vibe, positive parent vibe, however you want to look at it, oh, wherever you fit into that. That's even if you don't have any children, it's still this is uh, how you can deal positively with your spouses. I guess you could look at that too, and definitely coming in always with the high vibration. So I just give that to everybody. Because what Richard Pryor say, sometimes it's hard enough just being a human being. And then all these emotions and all these disagreements come in, and where are we left? We suffer in silence a lot of times. People be suffering in silence and don't speak up and tell people. Hey, Siova, thank you for joining me, brother. Definitely want to get with you again and just philosophize with you when we see the next thing. Oh, the NCAA are changing the rules on targeting. So if a player gets put out of a game for targeting, the team can appeal if it's a bad decision. They're gonna review it because now targeting means you miss. Like if you do it in the first half, you're gonna miss the first half and the second half. But if you just do it in the second half, you're gonna miss the first half of the next game. They revised that. They revised that where it is only you can appeal. So if it's like a bad call, which we've seen that in the past, they won't be penalized. I guess they're going to scrutinize blocking below the waist. I really don't see how they changed it because in the free blocking zone, you can still do everything but hold. You can clip, you can do everything but hold in the free blocking zone. And then that's, from tackle to tackle. I would just say no. I would say no, more from kind of from tackle to tackle, but sometimes they narrow it from guard to guard. But technically, the old free blocking zone used to be tackle to tackle, where you could do anything. A lot of times when I played flanker, I would come down and I would be the trap because that end or linebacker would blitz, and then I would be coming from the slot and I would catch him. Wouldn't even see me. And I like blocking. When I played, I like blocking. A lot of my other receivers, they didn't like blocking. Frank Carr definitely didn't like blocking. I didn't mind it. I like playing football. I became a football player, and blocking was a part of it. Shoot, when I was a little boy and we played, we would do sweeps. I would lead the blocking. I would throw it to one of my backs, and we'd turn the corner. Okay. That bird just hit my windshield for some reason. His wing, it was a big bird. I couldn't even tell what kind it was. I just saw a wing. Oh, let me tell you, I've been watching these eagles, nesting and shit. I told this story before. I saw an eagle, because there's eagles all over Minnesota. But I saw an eagle when I was living in Eden Prairie, which is north of me. We had a pond, and I was sitting in my backyard smoking a joint, and out of nowhere, I saw this big-ass eagle just pick up a duck and fly away with that fucker. I mean, the duck didn't know what was happening. The eagle just had them talons in the duck, and you could hear the duck quack away. I mean, it was a grown duck, but this eagle just like, whop, snatched him out the water and flew off. And I mean, he flew off. I saw him for a long time, but I could still hear the duck. Whack, whack. The duck was all tripping. That was the end of you, duck. And like when ravens come around or crows, a lot of times it's like, pay attention. I was reading something that says that when, how do I put it? sometimes people don't understand when these guides try to send you information. You got to pay attention to that stuff. A pair of these crimson red small birds, beautiful, never seen them before. I saw a pair of these crimson red small birds, beautiful. But oh, okay. I tell you what's up here too is finches. You know, people collect finches in their crib, but it's finches up here. We had a little small parakeet, maybe small little bird. He'd put his head down and pet it. It's just, I don't know, because they tried to talk me into getting a bigger bird. I was gonna get a deal. I mean, one of them big birds that, but I looked at how much my little bird crapped. I couldn't imagine how much them big birds crap. Like I would have a bird in the bathroom and it just crapped everywhere. Cool little bird, but the crap, you know. So I couldn't imagine what a big old bird would do. But I've heard people that said they got them big old birds like cockatoos, and the birds would go back in the cage. They wouldn't crap all over your house, but I don't know if I would. But I almost bought that. It was like $800. I almost bought that bird, and it was like a year old or so. It could talk. They had taught it to talk. Can't remember what it said, but it could definitely talk. Finches. Oh, little finches. Okay, there was little red finches. Okay, yeah, they're all. You can buy little finches up here. But yeah, I see them robins, cardinals, blue jays. You know, cardinals is kind of a guide bird too. But I mean, up here, like in Michigan, crows ain't that big, or blackbirds, whatever. Ravens, up here, them birds is they ain't small. They are not small. As I said before, there was a place where I was going. I said this last week. I was it's a back way I go to when I go to therapy, go to the up to the hospital, and it was an eagle's nest. And there's something I don't even know if they dropped the kill. I don't know, or something got killed near their nest, but it was a crow and it was two eagles. And I only later noticed there was a nest, but it was two eagles looking at that crow. They wasn't down there fighting that crow because they were not that much bigger than that raven. That raven was fairly big in itself. They let that raven pick as much as he wanted. And then I imagine when the raven got full, they wouldn't grab it when the raven left, but they didn't because they wasn't that bigger. And raven is a smaller wingspan, a little more maneuverable to attack their ass. So they left that raven alone. And man, we're supposed to have 70-degree weather tomorrow. And right now it's probably in the 40s. But I mean, we got what is this wind? 15, 20 mile an hour wind. Supposed to get 40 mile an hour wind gusts tomorrow and thunderstorms, but it's going to be 70. And 70 is and windy. You know, what can you do? I definitely can't play pickleball. My knee is a little hurt too, so not so much participating. Kind of letting my I did the last of my Achilles therapy, and got to go see about what's wrong with my patella. So hopefully it's just sprained. I don't think I tore it. Pretty sure I didn't tear it, but it's still bothering me. So I'm still going to therapy on my tennis elbow because I'm both-handed when I play pickleball, and I use my left hand, and I got tennis elbow worse. It's just hard for me not to go left-handed, right? But resting, because I'm gonna play. Like I'm really resting for the next couple of weeks because once September hits or May hits, I'm gonna play probably 4 or 5 hours of pickleball a day. I'm gonna go hard at it. So, but I'll start getting massages, hot tub, and all that stuff. But so I'm kind of resting now. Kind of resting. It's really only been 2 weeks since I played. Getting a pickleball complex in Charlotte. Might have to check it out. Listen to you, huh? I'm gonna tell you, this is what people don't know about pickleball. Now, if you play with just one-on-one, it's a lot of lateral movement, but the proper way is to play 2-on-2. And you play 2-on-2, after the first time you play, your arms are going to be so sore because it's nothing but arm play. I mean, yes, you're moving, but it's so much arm involved that I guarantee anybody that plays for the first time, you're gonna be that's for Salt Spark. That's for Salt Spark. Soak Spark. Okay. Salt. Yeah, okay. Get the salt. The salt soak. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I got some Epsom salt that I put in. But yeah, definitely it helps. Put a little copper in it, sugite. You can put sugite in the water too. And all that helps heal. Especially it just makes the tub really nasty, but I got the sugite powder and I'll put a little bit of that on. and it'll dissolve in the water too. But put it on the areas that bother me. So getting old, y'all, old pimp. But I like pickleball because you can be very active. And with sport come injuries. That's just the way it goes. Sports, you being active, you can just walk. As I said, I reffed a game where dude was just shooting a layup and had a compound fracture. He just went up and shot the ball, landed, compound fracture, just like that. No, not before the game. He got hurt before the game. He had worked for Target. I had did Target Corporations League. It was a big league too. We did that shit for damn near 3 months. They had a bunch of games. And it was 3 games a night. I made a nice little bit of money, but that cat he didn't roll his ankle or nothing. He just went up and came down. When he came down, the bone went through his leg. They had to come down, bring the ambulance to get him. I mean, you had to just stop the blood gushing. I mean, compound, the blood is going to gush. So, again, I got all that stuff in my bag. I put on the gloves, got a towel, gave him a towel to hold it. And then I wrapped it around until the hospital, till the ambulance came. But he wasn't doing nothing, man. Epsom salt, baking soda, borax, and sea salts. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you want to soak your feet. I got a soaking tub that does, like a mini hot tub just for your feet. I got all that. Insoles, my insoles. I don't play with my insoles though. They harm me a little more than they help me when I'm active. I notice. And at a certain point, there's a wellness. You got to understand when your body is wellness. It's like wearing braces too. At a certain point, it's like when I played when I was playing college football, I used to tape my knee, and after a certain point, I used to tape my knee every day for practice. But at a certain point, I felt my knee was healthy, so I just wore a little brace on it, just a sleeve on it, because didn't need the heavy tape anymore, which was good because, man, game days, got to leave the hotel or the dorm extra early to go get taped, especially your knee. And it was the old-fashioned knee tape with the old-fashioned tape, where it literally would take them like 20 minutes to tape my knee. It was that intense. And I'm just sitting there, But when you get well, you don't need those things. And that's another thing to pay attention to. My daughter's mother broke her foot, so she's like in and out the boot. And we put the hoop up last night. I talked about that in my show. We put her hoop up. We did everything but put the rim on. So we did all the hard work. But the weather's so crappy. It was actually decent yesterday, but it was raining all morning. It was raining pretty hard, but it got warm. I could feel where this warm air is coming, because I had my window open last night. It's not chilly. It's nice out here. I guess I should have left my radio on so I know what time it is. But it's Friday. Oh, here we go. And it's my daughter. My daughter gonna be with me weekend. Guess I can keep it on here. Turn it on here. I love music. I love all kind of music. I love hip hop too. I love the old R&Bs though. That's about my favorite is the old R&B for sure. But everything. And it's like my children have listened to the music I like. And so a lot of this old stuff my children know because they've heard it, especially my older children. They've heard it their whole life. And they like some of it too. And it helps hold certain vibrations. So that's the thing with music and just sound in general. That's why at night, I do the Chocolate Mountain Show. I do the singing bowls because people understand is how you're always on. As you get older, you start hearing how in tune you are in the world. You hear your own sound. Again, you can heal yourself with your own sound. You can change your atmosphere just by tuning into what you're sounding like. Even in an argument, you can hear the energy of the exchange between the people, and you start listening to it. And what you have to really change the argument into a more balance, you start listening to the sound as you're speaking and change your diction to see where you start hearing the balance where it turns into a conversation for an argument. So just by you being in tune to how each is speaking, you can change your diction and see if that can somewhat change the environment of Oh, they coming from the trails. And that does take some time to master, but those little things. Hey, Brother Edwards, I'll have you on, Brother Edward. One night, I think you got my email. If you want to come on and chop it, it's just been, I don't complain about things, but I've got very good internet and it ain't been very good lately. So I've been kind of hesitant to bring somebody on because for some reason, one reason or another, microphone issues. Never really had that before, but all of a sudden, all the mics, I'm not one to complain, but I know my equipment and it ain't really as bad as what's coming out and I'm seeing sometimes. So I guess that's what I'll say. And don't think YouTube is above attacking people, because they are. And as I said before, I got a camera and a computer wiped out by Facebook. I had one of them 360 Samsung little cameras. Yeah, Facebook killed that. Killed it. And I talked many times how Facebook killed the microphone on my computer. Man, see, over, I don't know if you've ever heard that part, but Facebook killed the microphone on my computer. I had to send the motherfucker back. I had to send it back, and they had the factory put another microphone. That is how thoroughly it didn't do nothing else to the computer, but it stopped the computer from loading the microphone. And that came from Facebook. That came from Facebook, because this was back in 2017 when I was doing Facebook Live and YouTube at the same time, when Facebook Live around the time it was started. And I was doing a broadcast and people was like saying they couldn't hear me. And I remember I'd hit Zach Hubbard. I say, Zach, what you think happened to that? Zach was like, he was the one like, man, that was Facebook killing your mic. I'm like, you're right. And I was doing TalkShoe too, all at the same time. Then the system wouldn't let me do TalkShoe and YouTube anymore. I'd done it for 3 years, no problems, doing both of them. And all of a sudden, my internet couldn't hold doing both. When I've been doing that for 3 years. These brothers complain, Wayne, about problems. I come with deep practical solutions and they don't want to hear it. That's a good point. Hey, Brother Sean, how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining me. And that's, when I talk about responsible dads, that's the thing, is we do have to come up with solutions. And yes, absolutely, people do not want to hear solutions, because some solutions people got to look in the mirror. I did not see her walk past. She is moving quick today. I did not see her walk past me. Because what they do is they go by the cars and see, they know the parents and they put a list of the children. And so the children know. I still don't know why we're picking them up in cars, why we just can't go into school anymore, since all the masks and stuff is dropped. But yeah, solution-based relationship, solution-based behavior. That's the other part of it, is base behavior, is how to, as I was saying, how to tone down if some kind of hostilities or disagreements, because you can disagree with someone you deal with every day, and it's different ways of dealing with them. I mean, it doesn't always have to be a attack. A lot of people, that when their disagreements, is for them, it is attack mode. And that's how you have to even know yourself. As I say, that's the biggest thing. Habits, creating certain habits. Like, I know just putting the keys in the same place every day, but what these kind of things do is you get to know yourself. And so when you forget something, because I couldn't find stuff for years and just be stressing. And so when I leave my house, I'm so stressed just because it took me a long time to find something simple like keys or my wallet. I watched my ex go through that stuff. A couple days ago, couldn't find her keys, stressing. And swear she put it in a certain spot when she ended up finding them in her coat. But if you get these habits, you never have to go through that, because you know yourself. When YouTube tried to ban and flag my account, I told them about their hypocrisy. The Naked Yoga channel and the terrorist organization been allowed to show their activity. Yeah. The ongoing hostilities, that we see in whatever it is, this is, you know, that's kind of taboo to talk about too. So they want you to leave that alone. I can leave it alone. I don't care about it. I don't think about it. Got nothing to do with me. Ain't nobody bombing here in Prior Lake. And that's the point of it all. Oh, remember, shoot, back in 17, I think when I got my first strike was 16 on my other channel that they destroyed. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is back when they was still letting naked chicks on YouTube. I don't know if y'all been on there long enough. It used to be almost fully naked chicks. They could be naked. Now they don't allow that anymore, but they used to. And here you, but me talk, you know, my rapping stuff. So it makes you wonder. It makes you wonder for sure. Oh, okay, they'll be here in a minute. 10 more minutes. Just some meditating in. And again, when they killed my channel, over 3,000 videos, channel since 14, all the music I saved, they still have naked hot yoga. That's what he said. Yep. Look up hot yoga. Yeah, that's what Edward was saying. It's so, you know, you want to kill me because Biden had just came in office for one, and I'm pretty sure it was because Trump was in office. I never had these issues with my other channel. And all of a sudden, Biden's in office, and I speak about what I didn't even speak against it. I just said a fact of what my doctor told me. I just repeated her story without any strikes since I hadn't had, when they destroyed my channel in 20. I want to say they destroyed it in 20. Yeah, maybe 20. Man, it's going on 2 years. I think next January will be 2 years. Yeah. 20. No, maybe just 21. Yeah, maybe 21 they destroyed it. ACLU. Good one, Edward. Say the ACLU will go after them. Some cases they will, not every time. Some cases they will. And they don't always work for the people either. They do some bogus shit. It be some bogus shit out there and they be backing it. So I'm leery of the ACLU too. Because some of this shit they be backing. And no, I mean, and sometimes they help, but sometimes they push some shit that's against us. Here's the funny shit. Oh, while I'm going, let me bring this shit up. The Haskins. See, I told y'all when that Haskins shit, told y'all they was gonna start making up stories about Haskins. So all of a sudden, his wife or fiance, I think they said his wife. See, I told y'all it was all a lie, and they after he was dead, they was gonna start bringing shit up. So this is the latest. Yeah, ACLU is full of crap. Definitely. I've run into them several times where be behind some bullshit. But this is the thing with Haskins. Okay, now all of a sudden the wife say he ran out of gas. They ain't said no vehicle. Now, how far you gonna walk? How far can you really walk where you can't see the vehicle? Where if you in an accident, they can't go by and say, well, he came out of this car. None of that came in the reports. None of that. And again, I mentioned this. I'm an accident investigator. I probably should have done it professionally. I've taken all those classes. I've got the certificates to be an accident investigator. And just breaking that kind of stuff down. Wasn't any report on cars. Didn't report he had his phone. Now the wife saying that he called her and told her. Wasn't no report of him having gas. Him having the gas can. None of that. And now they telling you he got hit by damn near 3 cars. That makes no sense. Not only did the pickup truck hit him, he got hit by 2 other cars. That's the weirdest story I've ever heard. That's what I'm saying. And now they trying to say, you know, they trying to do a backstory instead of, you know, again, this brother was sacrificed. He was straight sacrificed. There's no other way to look at it but now, as I predicted, they gonna make up these stories. Make up these stories that if it was real, would have came out when all this happened. But now they backtracking and they trying to make up stories as they go by. That would have came out when it happened. If it was a true story about his wife, but this is again how they spin it. They come out with it weeks later. Well, this is what happened. None of that was involved in the original story. None of it. And then to give more details that he got hit by more than one vehicle, that just tells you. And the truck that hit him was in the center lane. Now, anybody can see, like even when we make turns, simple turns where we see the car close, a car can go from 0 to 30 pretty quickly, no matter what kind of car you got. So pickup truck, and you trying to cross the highway, you're going to want a football field and a half distance to cross a highway because everybody going 55, 60, 70. So you're going to need a football field and a half clearance to run across the highway. But again, any smart person that's logical in their mind is going to walk to where you're going to see an exit. That's just what you're going to do. Or if you had a phone, why ain't you calling your insurance if you run out of gas? I've got insurance where I call, they'll bring me gas. Matter of fact, here in Minnesota, I was talking to somebody. Here in Minnesota, you call 911. The sheriff's department or state patrol will come give you gas. You ain't even got to call your insurance now. In Minnesota, if I run out of gas and call 911, the state patrol will come and give me gas. So you telling me that his insurance wouldn't come give him gas? Now, I don't know if the state patrol will bring him gas in Florida, but how does that make any sense? So, I mean, being a celebrity is one of the most dangerous jobs for brothers. I mean, being a rapper and Infinite Consciousness, look up his work. He does great work on, in 2020, a rapper was killed. What was it? Every 40 hours, something like that. Maybe my numbers was a little wrong, but every 40 hours, a rapper was killed. So being a rapper is the most dangerous thing. And now, they got the ASAP Rocky thing that's saying he shot somebody in the hand, want to get him for felonious assault. So you see how they do this stuff. Hey, Mr. Lamborghini, thank you for joining me. Needs to master the 3rd degree of game, which is power to count down the bureaucratic nonsense. Well, got a lot of people that don't have two parents. I mean, even in Winning Time with the Lakers, it showed that even how, the Dr. Tucker character manipulated Magic, and Magic had two parents. And the daddy, daddy is trying to say, like the Buick thing, the dad said, look, we talk to the people on the line, these cars is crap, so you don't want to be behind these Buicks. Turn the ride on, should be out in a minute. But the Dr. Tucker character, pushing, Buick, and Magic, instead of listening to see what his father had to say. As I said, Dr. Tucker cheated Magic. He cheated a bunch of them. Magic, Isaiah, Mark Aguirre, Jay Vincent, Sam Vincent, Big Dog Roberts. He cheated all of them. And that's the character that's, wearing the Woods brothers. Both Woods brothers is in it. They in that. One is playing Spencer Haywood, who was married to Iman. But Spencer, I talked a little bit about him last night. He was my favorite player early life, no doubt. I guess my first really person that I loved as a sports figure was Gale Sayers. And I watched them destroy him. They destroy his greatness. That's why I still say he the best back ever. Ain't nobody better. Ain't nobody more elusive than Gale Sayers. No one. Now Barry Sanders, who ran backwards. A lot of people throw Barry Sanders in there, but he ran backwards, 1,500 yards backwards. If you'd applied that 1,500 yards, he went backwards, he would have been the all-time leading rusher. But he would run backwards. And that's what little dudes tend to do. They tend to run backwards to try to get to be elusive. But Gale Sayers did number run side to side and forward. Look at the run against the Colts. Look back and look at the run I show against the Colts. And watch Gale Sayers. Ain't no run better. But again, hey dear. Then again, I don't think anybody did it better. Well, y'all, this is the last episode this week. The Beast Machine. Let me give Brother Edward some love. The Beast Machine, hungry for its ritual. Well, y'all, say less. I'll be on tonight.